When you picture the world's most dangerous cyber threat, you probably imagine a lone coding prodigy locked in a dark basement, or a highly disciplined syndicate funded by a rival nation. But the entity that brought governments and billion-dollar corporations to their knees had absolutely no headquarters. There was no CEO, no chain of command, and no official membership roster. They went by a single ominous name: Anonymous. This intimidating force didn't start in a military lab. It began in 2003 on an obscure, chaotic corner of the internet known as 4chan, a forum mostly used for sharing random memes. The defining feature of 4chan was its architecture. It stripped away user profiles and names, forcing everyone to post as an unidentified guest. Individual identity vanished, replaced by a flat digital crowd. You couldn't sign up to join Anonymous. It was a concept. Whenever this scattered crowd of unconnected users decided to rally behind a single cause, they instantly became a coordinated swarm, moving with devastating force. The first real test of this swarm happened in 2008. The Church of Scientology attempted to scrub a controversial leaked video from the internet. They were a highly powerful organization, used to getting their way. Anonymous retaliated with overwhelming digital force. Using DDoS attacks, a method of flooding a network with so much traffic that it crashes, they completely knocked the church's websites offline. Then the digital disruption poured out into the streets. Thousands of individuals gathered in physical protests outside church locations across the globe, hiding their faces behind masks to protect their identities. This clash established a strict operational rule for the collective. If any entity attempts to censor information on the internet, the swarm will attack. Between 2010 and 2012, this decentralized concept mutated into a global contagion. Their strikes became more frequent and vastly more ambitious. During Operation Payback, billion-dollar financial pillars like PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard cut off donation processing for WikiLeaks. Anonymous responded by immediately crippling the payment processor's online infrastructure. When the cybersecurity firm HB Gary Federal publicly claimed they could expose the identities of Anonymous members, the hackers broke into the firm's servers. They extracted and published thousands of internal corporate emails, completely destroying the security firm's reputation in a matter of days. The targets soon shifted from corporate giants to heavily armed nation-states. As the Arab Spring uprisings swept across the Middle East and North Africa, authoritarian regimes panicked. Governments in Tunisia and Egypt initiated extreme internet blackouts and harsh censorship to silence their protesting citizens. The state tried to cut the population off from the outside world. Anonymous stepped in to provide critical digital artillery. They dismantled government websites and provided secure communication lines for the real-world protesters on the ground. By 2012, this faceless system had achieved something that defied all conventional logic. They were fighting the world's largest financial titans and entrenched oppressive regimes simultaneously, and winning. But a system with no central authority contains a built-in vulnerability. The exact characteristic that made Anonymous untraceable and unstoppable was also its structural failure point. Because there was no membership process, anyone could claim the Anonymous banner. Selfish actors quickly hijacked the name to execute malicious attacks. These amateurs left obvious digital footprints behind, giving the FBI exactly what they needed to arrest multiple individuals. Law enforcement successfully handcuffed the people who made mistakes. Yet, the core network remained entirely out of reach, because you cannot put handcuffs on an abstract concept. You can arrest individuals, but you cannot arrest an idea. And that is why their final warning still echoes across the internet today. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.